This post got 3,926 upvotes on Reddit. Here's the story. Am I the asshole for leaving my phone on Do Not Disturb at night and making my mom worry? I'm honestly kinda mad right now. My sister just left my apartment, and my parents berated me on the phone for something I really don't think I was in the wrong about. I, 24M, moved into my new apartment less than 2 weeks ago. Before that, I was living at my sister's, 29F, place because we both work in the capital, and she let me stay with her until I found my own apartment. Our parents live in a small town about 3 hours away. We have a very close relationship with them, and I only moved out of their place a couple of months ago. Also, my mom tends to be super overbearing, not in a normal, motherly way. She has literally said that whenever my sister or I go out, she can't relax until we tell her we're home. I've told her multiple times that those feelings aren't normal, but she's basically been the same for the past 30 years. My dad also enables her, saying that way of thinking is normal for a mother. In my opinion, she's extremely overprotective. The thing is, today I decided to go to sleep early because I wake up at 5:30 a.m. for work and didn't want to be tired. I'm a very light sleeper, so I usually leave my phone on Do Not Disturb because even the slightest notification wakes me up. I went to bed around 9:30 p.m., and at about 11:30 p.m., I heard a knock on my door. It was my sister. She said my mom was really scared because she couldn't call me and her messages weren't going through, so she thought something had happened to me and immediately started imagining the worst. I was pretty pissed. I told my sister she couldn't just come to my place at almost midnight every time I go to sleep early just because our overprotective mom is worried. She called our mom right away to let her know I was okay, but then both she and my dad berated me on the phone for not answering. My mom even cursed at me a bit. I told them the same thing I said before, I'm a light sleeper, which they know, and I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb so I can actually get a good night's sleep. My mom told me to be more considerate in the future and said now she's worried about my sister too because she had to take an Uber back home at midnight. My sister just left, and I can't help but feel like this whole thing could have been avoided if my parents had a bit more common sense. So, am I the asshole for leaving my phone on Do Not Disturb at night and making my mom worry? Edit, just for clarification, I'm a guy. Many people in the comments are under the impression that I'm a girl. Why? My mom's overbearing nature doesn't have anything to do with my gender, but I'm her youngest, so maybe that part does contribute. Here are some top comments.
Not the asshole. You're a 24-year-old adult who went to bed early for work, not someone who disappeared into the woods with no signal. Keeping your phone on D&D at night is completely reasonable, especially when you've already explained that you're a light sleeper and need some good rest. Your mom's anxiety may be real, after all, something could have happened to you, for all she knows, but it's not your responsibility to manage it by being available 24/7, and sending your sister to your apartment at midnight was a wild overreaction. If anything, this situation shows your family needs better boundaries, not that you did something wrong.
Not the asshole. You didn't make anyone worry. They chose to worry. Your sister chose to go to your apartment. They are also lying. On Do Not Disturb, calls and messages do go through. They simply do not ring or give an audible or vibrating notification. They went through. They were there for you to see the next time you checked your phone. They can leave a voicemail, they can leave texts. So what actually happened was that she called you, texted you, and did not get a response. That's not the same thing. Your mother refuses to deal with her anxiety. She is the only one to blame for this situation. You are putting up proper boundaries so you can function in your life, for example, by getting enough sleep so you can wake up when you need to for your job. Next time, don't answer the door, and put on headphones or something so you don't hear your enabling sister banging on the door.
Not the asshole. 20 years ago, you didn't call past 8 p.m. unless it was an actual emergency. I set my phone to DND at 8:30 every night. I'm allowed to disconnect from everyone and be unavailable. Your mom needs to learn boundaries and so does your sister.
OMG, is your mom my mom? I moved to a separate state with partner for work. Since I was a traveling RN during COVID, I'd often work 12 to 16-hour shifts. I would call at least once a week but would let her know when there was a string of shifts coming and that I would not be calling her during them. I had a mix of night and days, so my sleep schedule was all over the place. One week, I had a string of 2 to 16-hour overnight shifts. I texted her letting her know this in advance, so she wouldn't call me while I was sleeping, in text, and that I'd be recovering after those long shifts. I worked 2 days and then my first day off I slept for a good 12 hours as I was exhausted. My phone was on silent. In those 12 hours of D&D, she called 20 times, texted me 15 times, texted my partner, who was at work and aware I was probably sleeping, who ignored the calls at my previous request, tried to have my sisters text me, and as 2 last resorts, I had woken up at this point, called a friend who lived in the area asking if I was okay and to check in on me, and threatened to call the cops. My friend messaged asking what the hell was my mom's problem, and I replied, the problem is she doesn't like boundaries. I am now no contact with her.